Well, our special guest this week on Media Week is Chris Nolan, CEO of Starcom MediaVest. Now, Starcom MediaVest was involved in the Nova Red Room tour as the agency for Optus, so it's good to get a chance to hear your thoughts on this as well, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Get some thoughts on some other news across the week from you as well. But firstly, just tell us about this Nova Red Room tour and the attraction for clients. What do you find is the attraction for them?
Well, I think for advertisers like Optus, it's primarily, I think it's about adding value back to their existing customers. And you think about that particular initiative, really unique experience and a real opportunity for them to talk to their customers and say, here's something back. And go beyond it just being a transactional, product-based relationship with the customer and the brand and building in more of a emotive connection to them. I think that's got lots of other reasons to do that, such as creating more advocacy, so giving their customers more reasons to advocate their brand of choice by giving them really quite unique video content, which I think was referred by Tony, that they can then share on to their own friends.
It's kind of an emotive experience, the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And I think that's about advocating your brand of choice to your friends.
I mean, it's kind of special event stuff. Is it the kind of thing your clients say, yeah, we want more and more of this, or does it have to be quite special in order to keep them interested? What do you think?
It doesn't have to be special, but I think they're looking for something that's unique.
Yep.
That maybe isn't previously or otherwise available to their customers, but something that could be, I guess, memorable, but actually relevant to the relationship between the brand and their customer. Lots of people are using their mobile devices to engage in music, which Optus knows is a passion for many of their customers.
Good stuff.
So if they can enable more access to that, that's a good thing.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Now, Starcom MediaVest has also partnered with Val Morgan and also Videology, launching a fully automated trading platform based on targeted audiences. I read that because I don't entirely know the concept. I'd love to understand from you today. I mean, it's also been referred to as programmatic trading and outdoor advertising. Tell us what it's all about, because this is a big deal. You're saying it's a world first.
We believe it is, and it's a huge initiative. And to illustrate the point, we're deploying this at the moment in convenience outlets at petrol stations. So we have facial recognition technology that can identify the demographic of the person that's at the bowser. Are they female? Are they male? What is their general age group? And then in a split second, we can send an ad that is relevant to that individual. And I think that's fantastic.
Instantly targeted to that person. Okay.
So an algorithm or a programmatic piece of technology drives that for us. And it's about ensuring that the advertiser's message is more relevant to the individual at that point in time, and that's about creating more effective advertising.
And, I mean, ultimately, what is that paradigm shift then that we're kind of talking about?
So the primary paradigm shift is moving from buying ad placements to buying audiences. So you can see we're not buying necessarily the particular, we're still deploying that piece of ad content at the browser, but we're not buying the browser space. We're buying the audience that arrives at the browser.
We do hear a lot about automated trading. I know there's quite a bit of discussion about what it means for agencies. Does it mean there's less work for agencies to do?
Not in the foreseeable future. No rest for us yet, Brooke. Absolutely not. We will do very different things. We're employing very different types of people. Where we have a significant investment in data and analytics, which is critical to driving the sorts of technologies that we've just talked about. You need to be able to manage huge databases and develop those insights from those databases in real time, and that requires a different type of personnel. But it also means that we're delivering advertising with a lot more agility, and what that means is we're changing the content in a really in real time based on what we know about that individual at that point in time. So definitely not less to do, more to do, but different things, different types of services.
Chris, love to get your thoughts on some other news this week. A kind of speculation around again that Fairfax and Macquarie Radio might restart merger talks. I mean, from your perspective, how compelling would Fairfax be as a network with the addition of 2GB? I mean, from an advertiser's perspective.
Oh, look, very, very much so. I would certainly advocate for the publisher that represents a huge opportunity. Interestingly, talkback radio audiences are incredibly loyal, but what we have seen is 2GB off the back of some really strong talent. have been able to, over the last few years, arrest quite a significant amount of audience away from 2UE. So certainly that merger would help to bring that audience back under the one banner.
So you're saying to management, work out something, do it?
Oh, definitely.
Advice? Yeah.
Well, for them, absolutely. And the radio industry is seeing some. It's not a growing industry in terms of its traditional advertising. So obviously they need to find more efficient and effective ways to build their business model to deal with a market that's not growing.
Can I ask you on something else? We had the Fetch TV CEO Scott Lawson with Media Week last month, I think it was. He's warned about overestimating the demand for video on demand services in Australia, and it's very topical. Everyone's kind of into this space, and even in the last couple of weeks we've heard more about that. Do you think that's a timely warning from him, or do you think there actually could be very big demand to pay for online video content? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it is a timely warning. Over the last 12 months, we've seen the growth in premium video content is only about 4 or 5%. Yet the advertiser demand for it has grown up to 50%. So we've got a supply-demand issue there, and that's obviously driving up the price. And that could, in theory, drive up the price of its content above other options. So I think it is a timely reminder, but advertisers will follow audiences. So as more people choose to watch their video content online through video-on-demand services, more of the advertising will follow into that medium.
Good stuff. We're going to take a quick break. Chris Nolan, thank you so much for staying with us. I know CEO Starcom MediaVest coming up here on Media Week, checking in on the latest television ratings and also Chris's views on how some of the broadcasters are faring. That's up next.